Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. I hope everyone did the opposite of what our quote unquote commander in chief recommended, and I hope everyone was with their family. And Briscoe, if you watch this video, bro, I saw your comment that you posted on my community post the other day. YouTube didn't allow it to be published, but censorship and all that, right? But I saw the notification and I read it. I couldn't agree more. I just want to let you know that your comment didn't go unseen. Let's get into it.
So I just ended the healthiest relationship I've ever had because I knew that there was something better for me and I can't have it unless I make space for it. So I did. And this is the first time in my life that I have been completely alone. My dog is dead, and I ended my healthiest relationship. All I have is space now.
Look, I don't know this woman from Eve. I don't know this woman from Eve. I'm not gonna sit here and bash her, but what I will say is this: is that what you're gonna start to see more and more and more. I mean, it's happening now, right? But what you're gonna start to see more and more and more is more men that have built themselves up, that have worked hard, that have made the sacrifices needed to put themselves in great positions, that have put in the work, right? More and more and more men are gonna start dating women that are younger and younger and younger. See, what happens with some women is that after a certain point, when you've been in so many failed relationships, you ending the relationships, women ending relationships a lot of the time, is that the first guy you dated, this is what you start to do. The first guy you dated, you say, I like that. I like he did that. I didn't like that he did that. The next guy, oh, he does this and that, but I don't like that he does that. Each and every guy, you expect them to have absolutely everything, every positive thing that you like from the last guy. You expect them to have all of that and more, and more. Then it comes to a point where this isn't even a real man. This isn't a real human being you're talking about, because you want him to be more than perfect. Oftentimes when we talk about the upsides of dating a younger woman, we talk about the obvious things, right? The youth, the beauty, the fertility, and all that stuff is 1,000% true. But one thing that needs to be talked about more is the baggage, the less baggage that they have. And when I say baggage, obviously I'm not even talking about the kids, that goes without saying, but I'm talking about the mental baggage. What's been a big buzzword of 2021? Trauma, right? You hear that word trauma a lot. And when it comes down to trauma, obviously more often than average, a younger woman's gonna have far less trauma, relationship trauma, than an older woman. I'm talking about quality women. I'm not talking about these 304s. Oh, Pat, man, these 22-year-olds, they got 100 bodies, man. And look, I don't want to go off on a tangent. That's another video, but let me touch on this real quickly. Is that some of y'all men, y'all are traumatized. Y'all have trauma. Y'all got so much rage, so much that you just look at a woman and just, oh man, she's a 304. Every woman you just look, she's a 304. Except your mama. Your mama ain't a 304. Your mama's this and that, this and that. When some of y'all's mamas are 304s, but no, your mom's not a 304, but every other woman's a 304. Everyone, man, everyone's a 304, man. Y'all have trauma. Okay? You men that think like that have trauma. Look, here's the thing. A younger, quality woman, religious woman. See, the more secular spaces that you associate yourself with, that you're always in, like it blows my mind when I hear some of y'all speak, and when it comes down to the places that you're meeting these women, like how are you surprised that you met a 304 at the club? How are you surprised that, like, why does that surprise you, you dummy? When you're in more religious spaces, I'm talking about the women that are in religious spaces that are genuinely like that's them. That's their faith, that's their substance. I'm not talking about these 304s masquerading as religious women for clout. All you men that say virgins don't exist, I'm a firm believer that the more secular you are, the more that you believe that. Because, yeah, virgins don't exist in your world. Because promiscuity is so praised. But there are still women, religious women. I'm talking about girls, grew up Pentecostal, grew up Baptist, grew up looking down on promiscuity. These girls still exist, man. I know some. I'm talking one right now. Like, these girls exist. Like, I'm not gonna. You're never gonna hear me make a video saying that virgins don't exist, because that's a bald-faced lie that a lot of y'all genuinely believe. Just because you don't know them doesn't mean they don't exist. You're not in the spaces where they're at. You're not there. Anyway, so when it comes down to younger women, they have less quality women. They have less emotional baggage. So instead of creating this character, this perfect avatar, this perfect archetype like these other women, they have far more realistic standards. Us men really not affected by this. Our shelf life is longer. I want women to succeed, so I wish that they would understand and learn these things earlier so they could get a better deal. Because that's what it all comes down to. When it comes to men and women, I'm not one of those guys that's just like, oh man, never cohabitate with the woman, never cohabitate with the female species. They are succubuses. Like, you're never gonna hear me say anything like that. I agree that men and women are best together. We complement each other beautifully. Like, God didn't make mistakes there. But you're gonna have to make a decision. Not just directly talking to women in general. You're gonna have to make a decision eventually, because men, the type of men, and again, that's what it comes down to. Because you hear women, what about the good guys? What about the good guys? I don't have any good guys, man. And there are guys that completely pander to women that will even admit this and say that the good guys are in your friend zone. The good guys are in your friend zone, man. Let's come on, like, let's keep it real. The good guys are in your friend zone for the majority of women, but that's not the type of man that you want, which is fine. That's fine. That's fine. But in the same breath, we all looking for the best deal, but what can we afford? Like, as a woman, what type of man can you afford? And vice versa. I'm saying it both ways. As a man, what type of sorry, I got a text message. What type of woman can you afford? From a relationship perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't I can't get the type of women that Leonardo DiCaprio dates. I can't afford freaking supermodel. supermodel. I don't look.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
I don't. I don't. I'm being brilliant. I cannot. I just can't. And that's fine. But it doesn't mean there are still great women that I do have access to. And trust me, I do. Life's good. We're doing all right over here. The women in my life, we're doing good over here, right? So just because you can't get the top doesn't mean that you still can't get a great guy. And I just wish more women would realize that. I do. But your favorite Texan here, man. Big salute. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you enjoy. We'll see you on the next one. God bless.